So a number of different ways that you can get speaking gigs. The first one is the old school manual way. Now, first of all, I recommend creating a Google sheet called conferences, events, summits, networking groups, business events, blah, 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 that I might like to speak at. And you're going to want a couple of columns like the company name, title of the event, contact name, contact email, what the event's about, location or city that it's running in. But essentially, you want this Google sheet that kind of will be the main place you store all of these potential conferences, summits, and events that run. And most of these run every single year. So don't worry about the date. Don't worry about if it's already passed. If these are event organizers, if this is an event running, the chances are there's more of them coming up, okay? So all you could do manually is decide what kind of events you want to speak at and what location. So I might type in entrepreneur event Australia, okay, because I'm based in Australia. And it's going to bring up all of these entrepreneur events. Cool. So I would literally just go through them all now and find, is it the one I want, title, when's it running, and the contact information of the people there. And then manually reach out to them saying, hello, my name is, I'm a speaker in X topic, and here are 3 topics that I would love to come and present at one of your upcoming events. Manual in the system. Super duper easy. You can all do that, or you can get a virtual assistant or a colleague or a staff member to help you. Okay. That's the first way of finding free and paid gigs. The next one, and I will do how to find the contacts in a minute, is to use an agent. You can get ChatGPT agents to now do this for you. Now, FYI, at the time of recording this on the 10th of September, 2025, these agents are still not very good. Okay, I've tested this and sometimes it does it really well. Sometimes it just absolutely poops its pants. So I'm still very much relying on Febby to do this for me. But this is something that it might be something that Febby could be freed up from later down the line so she can help me with something else. But this is where you can get ChatGPT in agent mode to do it for you. Now, I'm not going to give you my agent's description for this because it is extremely specific to my particular topics and my particular audience. So it would be completely useless for you. However, I'll just give you an idea of what it looks like. Basically, it just says the agent's objective is to find speaking gigs in the topic of or to the audience of in the following locations. I only want you to search in these particular regions for events and gigs. These are the kinds of topics or audiences that I want you to find. These are the kinds of topics that I want you to find. And here are the kind of search phrases that you might use to find them. And here's the information I want you to collect. And here's the Google sheet that I want you to add that information to. And I've just given it literally the link to that actual Google sheet. And then I've said, I want you to do this at least once a week. Again, I found these agents aren't very good at doing stuff on repeat. You have to manually go in and tell it to do it. But let me show you, once you've got the instructions, you can go into your ChatGPT, new chat, and on this plus button, let's make it bigger for you. On this plus button here, you're going to choose agent mode. Agent mode, okay? Click on that, paste in your instructions, and then press go. And what it's going to do is open up like a remote browser and it will start thinking about it. So we're not going to sit here and watch it do this, but essentially it might ask us a few questions. It might ask us to log into some things. It shouldn't need to log into anything for this particular task because I've made sure that my document here is set to anyone with the link can edit, which it needs to be set to if you want a bot to touch the document, okay? In the minute, you'll see my bot actually appear up inside this document, but let me open it to see what it's doing. So it's probably going to summarize its tasks. Do you want to turn on desktop notifications? Yeah, why not? And it will update you on the tasks. Is it going to ask me anything? Oh, it's even going to outreach for me. All right, interesting. Setting up its desktop. I'll just show you what it will do for any of you who haven't tried this. So here we go. So it's now going into Google. It's searching for all the events. So now it's on the internet. It's doing this searching all by itself. So all it's going to do now is follow those instructions. I'll see if it's actually logged into my bot yet. No, it hasn't. It's probably going to do that next. But essentially now it should start filling in this sheet. Woohoo! So what can you do with this? Once the sheet started being filled, whether it's by a human or by your agent, you can do a couple of things with this sheet. Number one, is you can manually upload this sheet to Techmatics and then automatically add these contacts to a workflow that I've already made for you that will automatically then start pitching you and following up on your behalf. I will show you that very quickly in just a second. So you can literally just go to contacts, upload Google Sheet, and add all of your contacts to this workflow in one go if you're doing the manual way. Now you can even automate this even further, because you can even get the system to actually automatically track when a new contact row is added to a Google Sheet. It will then automatically pull that contact into your Techmatics account and automatically fire off a workflow. I'm not going to do that demo today because we just don't have time in a 60 to 90-minute session. However, I want you to know that's possible. And my strongest recommendation to you would be to book a call with a Techspert, $50, and they can actually help you set up these kinds of automations if you do want to take it that far. You can have the agent adding the contacts to the Google Sheet. The Google Sheet is connected to your Techmatics account. So your Techmatics account recognizes when a new contact is added to that sheet and automatically runs them through the workflow. So let me show you the workflow just so that you can see where it is and you know how to find it and basically understand what's in there and what you need to edit. If you go into automated workflows, make sure you're on all workflows, and in the search, just type in speak and hit search, and you will find a template in here called Speaking Opportunities, Cold Outreach and Follow-ups. Now, at the moment, I haven't put a trigger in here because some of you, there would be no trigger if you're manually adding these contacts to the system. If those of you want to have an automation in place here, you'll need to get your Techspert to set up what's called webhooks, which means that it will recognize when new contacts have been added to that Google Sheet. Oops, sorry, I'm not sharing my screen. My apologies. Sorry. Let me go back. So inside your Techmatics account, I'm just going to go back because I wasn't sharing my screen. Go into workflows, press search and type in speak. And you will find a workflow called Speaking Opportunities, Cold Outreach. So let's open that up. There's no trigger in here, as I just said, because there's different reasons and different ways you might be triggering your workflows. This will need to be a webhook trigger if you're going to have it all running automatically, which I would strongly recommend you get a grown-up to help you with. One of our Techsperts can help you with that. So you'll see in here in this template I've made for you, we're tagging them. You might want to, I wouldn't tag them with mailing list because remember, they haven't necessarily opted in to be into your mailing list. So I would not put the mailing list tag on these people because they're cold contacts. This means that they'll just be a contact in your system and they won't be sent your mass communication. Very important to stay safe and clean and protect your email domain, okay? We also want to add a note to the record. We want to update the stage that they're in your customer journey, remove the mailing list tag, and then we're going to send them this email, which is your speaker pitch, basically. There's a little bit of a template in there for you already, but I'd recommend you place this in a proper template so that it looks all pretty and in your branding. But essentially, you're just saying, hi, my name is, I'm an expert in, here are the topics that I'd love to come and speak about. If there's a fit, I'd love to talk to you. You might like to put a link into your calendar for a free 15-minute call there as well. Then we wait for 30 days and we might send them another reminder like, hey, 30 days ago, I sent my info through. Just wondering if you're still looking for speakers. And then you can change this. Like you might want to do it every 3 months or every 6 months. It's up to you. You can change this, but you might want to wait for 3 months, and every quarter, it will just resend your speaker pitch back through again. Every 90 days, every 3 months, or every 6 months, again, it will just contact them because they're always booking 6 to 12 months in advance. So you want to be continuously in touch with them and continuously following up. Remember, event organizers, it's literally their business to be communicating with speakers. So they're generally going to want to hear from you. All right. It's very targeted. This is the business that we're in, and we need to be in constant communication with event organizers. So you can tweak this however you want. You can even branch this so that it stops if they have booked you. All right. So you can get very fancy with this if you like. But if you're doing this manually, I just want to show you a couple of ways that you can find like direct contacts to contact. Now, most events will have some kind of apply here to be a speaker link, or they will have for speaking opportunities, please email barbara@events.com, for instance. However, some of them, particularly if they're corporate clients, are a little bit harder to find the contact information for. And this is where I use a combination of what's called LinkedIn and an app called Hunter.io. That's a free Chrome app that you can obviously upgrade to pay for, but the free version does allow you to do a handful of searches a day for free. So let me explain. In this particular example, I was demoing going to pitch my speaking to Suncorp Bank. Now, obviously, just like most major organizations, if you go to their website, you can't find any contact information at all, especially when they're publicly listed companies like this. So you've got to be a bit more creative about how you find the email address. So Suncorp Bank, to find the email address for that particular person, I used the Hunter Chrome extension up here. So I'm going to go to the website first of all. So Suncorp Bank, let's say that's the person or the company that I'd love to present to. And the little Chrome extension email Hunter, it's added to my bar up here. You just download it from the Chrome store. When I press that, it actually brings up all of the contact details for this site. Oh, there we go. It actually finds the email addresses. So I'd be able to go through and grab the contact person that I'm looking for. Alternatively, if there was a very specific job role I'm looking for, I'd go to LinkedIn. Let's say it was the safety manager I was looking for. I'd go to LinkedIn, type in safety manager at Suncorp. It would find me the actual people. And this Chrome extension shows me the convention that it's usually first name dot last name at suncorpbank.com.au. So if I went to LinkedIn and found that the safety manager was Graham Jones, I would know that his email address is going to be graham.jones@suncorp.com.au, because that's what their email convention is for all of their people. So that is how you can go about finding very specific email addresses for very specific companies that you want to work with. Hope that makes sense. Okay, let's keep going. How are you all feeling? Woo! Is this helping or is this overwhelming? Either way, I hope it helps. The other way that you make money from speaking, remember, this is Speak Yourself Rich. If you are in a room full of people, please make sure you have as many opportunities to make money as possible. This is your business. This is your job. I don't know if, but the Techmatics mobile app is a tap and pay FPOS machine. It's literally a point of service. So to grab the Techmatics app on your phone, it looks like this little orange square. At the moment, we need to actually go in and update our logos and everything in here. But it's called the Lead Connector app. Lead Connector. Go to the App Store, type in Lead Connector. It's like a little orange box thing, that one right in the middle at my bottom of my screen. Lead Connector. You log in with your Techmatics login information, and basically you have this option to turn your phone from your Techmatics app into a tap and pay. So you should be selling your books from the back of the room. You should be selling your coaching program. You should be selling your membership. You should be selling your products, your things, your stuff from the back of the room, any merch that you've got, whatever, right? Use your phone to literally beep, tap and pay. Okay? This is why you've got Techmatics, to make more money. Okay, so the next thing I'd like you to do as your homework for this week is to go and find like your top 10 dream stages that you'd like to speak on. Where, who, what client, what event would be your dream to speak on? Is there a particular big event that happens in your city every year? Is there one that you go to that you would love to be on the stage of? Is there a big fat corporate client that you would freaking love to have their logo on your website saying clients that I work for? Go and write down those top 10 dream clients, and I want you to reach out to them this week. All you've got to say is, hello, my name is, I'm an expert in, and here are 3 presentations I would love to come and deliver for you. Would you like to jump on a call with me to have a chat? Here's the link to my calendar for a 15-minute free call. Put them in that workflow, and it will follow up with them every 3 months or every 6 months or whatever you've set it to. This is the only way you get on stages. You have to be brazen enough to ask. Don't sit around hoping that someone's going to come and knock on your door and offer you the opportunity. You knock on the door and say, can I come and sit at your table, please? Yeah? Promise me that. Good. There is a ChatGPT prompt for creating your professional training proposals or speaking proposals for corporates in here. I'm not going to cover that in this session because there is a whole other workshop on your dashboard called How to Sell Your Training and Speaking to Corporates and B2B. In that specific workshop, I go through how to create your training proposal, how to use this prompt here to create a proper proposal document, because corporates usually want a proper proposal, not just your speaker bio. They normally want a little bit more than that. So please go and watch that corporate training already on your Legends Lab dashboard that's included in your membership. If you're going to be going to corporates, this is very important. If you're not going to corporates and you're more speaking just at conferences and expos and networking events and smaller business events, you're not going to need to do this. But if you're going for those big corporate organizations, you will want to watch that particular workshop. Now, the final thing I just want to share with you is I've got a SOP for you, which is clickable. Febby, I don't know if you want to pop this link on the live chat for everybody, but it is in the slide deck. Basically, I've just got a blank template for you of preparation checklist before you go to an event or before you run an event. These are just some things that generic stuff you're going to need to plan. Getting that QR code ready, getting your slides ready, getting that agreement of what the exchange or the rate or the fee is, sending your invoice if they're paying you, making sure that you've asked if you can have slides, if you can put flyers up on the stages, if they've got a camera crew or you're bringing your own filming gear, just all of these checklist things that you might not know yet because you haven't been doing it long enough that will just help you make the most of this particular event. Checked off by, I said filming there. This is where you want to be making sure that you have at the very least got your phone on a tripod with a lapel microphone so that you can repurpose your presentation into ongoing assets. Because this for me is another reason why speaking for free for me pays me much more than what I would get if I'd only asked for a fee. Because I use this as content creation opportunity. I always have the presentation filmed, even if it's from my phone lapel microphone, so that I can either give away that recording as a lead magnet. So many of you will see, if you follow my personal Facebook profile, I'll say something like, yesterday I delivered a workshop on blah, blah, blah. They've given me permission to share the replay. I usually that's because it was part of my contract agreement. I can use any of the resources for commercial use, however I want. Who wants to see the replay for free? And everyone goes, me. And then I send them, guess what? The opt-in form, first name, email address, that then sends them the link to the replay. So I start now using that recording to basically grow my email list even more from people that weren't even in the room for the rest of time. I then take the recording of that, I chuck it into script, I get the transcript, I turn the transcript into tons of social media text posts, I chop it up so that I've got loads of social media content, I use parts of the video recording for new, fresh, updated speaker show reels, for normal reels for social media, and that content, those multiple pieces of content that come from that one recording, can end up making me thousands of dollars more in all of the marketing that it's used in down the line. So for me, it's never just about doing a talk for free. It's about all of the ways that I can leverage that before the event, during the event, after the event with the leads I capture from it, and then after the event again with all of the ways that I reuse and repurpose the content that came from it. This is how I turn a free speaking gig into tens of thousands of dollars every single time. And I hope that you can too, now that you have, I just realized I wasn't even showing that screen to you then. This is how you can do it too, now that you have these tools and the methodology.